Hello, and welcome to the MMA Mic Drop Podcast. My name is Jade Bunky. In today's episode, I'm going to break down everything that's about to go down at UFC 323, Merab Dvalishvili versus Petr Yan. And it's a good one. This fight card features not one, but two title fights, and the prelims are absolutely stacked. In my last prediction video, I went 11-2. I'm going to try to go undefeated this time. Probably will not happen, but I'm going to try. If I am to grade this card, I would grade it a B+. The only thing that's keeping it from an A- is the opening fight on the pay-per-view. It's Jan Blachowicz. Blachowicz is 42 years old. He's coming off back-to-back losses. Yes, they are against the elite fighters in the division, but he shouldn't be on a main card at this stage in his career. And he's taken on Bogdan Guskov, who, even though he's an exciting fighter, will never be a true contender in this division. But besides that, every other fight on this card is absolutely fascinating. And that fight, too, is pretty interesting. I just don't think it should be on the main card. But with that said, let me tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to provide you picks and predictions for every single fight. I'm going to give you the odds. I'm going to identify who has the best nickname and who has the worst nickname on this fight card. And believe me, there's a lot of competition for worst nickname. So let's jump right into it. Merab Dvalishvili versus Petr Yan. This is a rematch. Yan is the former champ. The odds are a little surprising. Merab is coming in at a minus 450 favorite. Now think about that for a moment. Think about back just a couple years when Petr Yan was the champ. Would you have ever imagined that he would be a minus 450 underdog against anybody? And he's only 32 years old. He's still in his athletic prime. So this line was a bit surprising. But when we look at Merab, he's on a 14-fight win streak, and he is starting to put a resume for the ages together. And when we start to break down this fight, here's what's going to happen. We know what's going to happen. Merab is going to look for takedown after takedown after takedown. He is absolutely relentless. His nickname, The Machine, it's quite appropriate because he has cardio unlike anyone I've ever seen in the UFC. He's weaponized it to a greater extent than anyone I've ever seen in the UFC. Once he gets you down, he doesn't have good control, but it doesn't matter because once somebody gets back up, he puts you back down. And he looks the same in the third round as he did in the first round. He is absolutely relentless. Now, can Yan provide something different? He has some decent power. He is a good boxer. He is good everywhere. And when you start to break down, his game, what he does is he comes out a little slow, and it looks like he's downloading information. And when he's against an opponent, there's times when you're thinking, oh wow, this person is actually doing pretty well against him. Until the second round starts. And that's when he starts running downhill. That's when he starts turning up the volume. He has really nice combos. He picks up the pace as the fight goes on. And he is good everywhere. And like I said, he has decent power. Now, the question is, will that be enough to neutralize Merab? And I don't think so. No one's been able to neutralize Merab yet. At least not in the last 14 fights. I believe his last loss, and I think it was like 2019, 2018. And let me go back and just take a look. Yeah, 2018. And it was a fight he was winning until the very last second. There was some controversy in that fight as well. And yeah, I mentioned the odds. Minus 450. Yan is a plus 350. Now, is this a fight Yan can win? Yes, it is. I just don't think it's going to happen. Yan is on a 3-fight winning streak, but his last loss was to Merab not too long ago. Merab's actually getting better despite his age. He is 34, but he hasn't slowed down at all. And if he fought a year ago, maybe I'd be a little concerned. How much has he dropped off at age 34? But he fought months ago. He hasn't dropped off at all. If anything, he's looking better. Yan is kind of looking the same. And give me Merab by a decision. But the most exciting fight on the entire card is the co-main event. This fight is absolutely insane. It is Pantoja versus Josh Van. Oh, and let me just get the records for you. I mentioned their winning streaks. Merab, he is 21-4. Yan is 19-5. And when we get to the co-main event, Joshua Van, he's only 24 years old. He is fighting a dominant champion in Pantoja. And let me look at the odds real quickly. So Pantoja is a minus 225. Van is a plus 190. I'd make that a little bit closer. Pantoja, he is 35 years old. As I mentioned, you kind of worry about somebody like once they get to about 34, you worry a little more once they're 35. Now, Pantoja, again, has not slowed down at all. And he is good everywhere. He's one of the most complete fighters in the UFC. And when you're looking at pound for pound rankings, he's starting to get the respect that he deserves. He is now in the UFC rankings ranked number 5 pound for pound. I would actually put him number 3. I think only Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria should be ranked above him. I mean, he is putting together a pretty good resume as well. He's won 8 fights in a row. And let me move over to let me move over to Van. Now, Van, he's really young, and he emerged in the UFC, I believe it was in June of 2023, and he's already 8-1. Think about the number of fights he's had in such a short period of time. And he seems to be getting better. His last win against Royval, I mean, that was an exciting fight. And you can see with with Van, he has incredibly fast hands. He has good power. He moves forward. He likes to throw down in the pocket. This dude is absolutely fearless, and he is getting better and better with every single fight. Now, the question is it good enough to beat Pantoja? And before I give you my prediction, let me get their records, overall records. Yeah, Pantoja 30-5, Joshua Van 15-2. And, going back to Pantoja before I give picks, I mean, he's got good power. He's good at wrestling. He's good at jiu-jitsu. He is one of the most complete fighters. And, I think he'll have advantages on the ground over Van. Van's going to have a speed advantage. I don't think he'll have a power advantage, though. And it's hard for me to pick against Pantoja. And this is one of the harder picks on the card for me. But I got to lean Pantoja. I think he's going to get it done. And if he gets it done, I think he's going to do it by submission. And I think he's going to do it by 4th round submission. All right. Before that, we have Brandon Moreno, the most likable fighter in the UFC, at 23-8 against Tatsuro Taira at 17-1. Now, the odds on this are absolutely shocking to me. And let me just bring it up. Moreno is the underdog. He is at a plus 105. Taira is a minus 125. Moreno is the number 2 ranked flyweight. Taira is, I believe he's number 5. And, I mean, Taira is good, but Brandon Moreno is a former champ who's only 31 years old, who, his only recent loss, is to Pantoja, who's the best in the division. So let's talk about these fighters. So Brandon Moreno, he likes to switch stances a lot. He has really good volume. He has kind of an interesting, kind of a little bit awkward movement, but he's always moving. He's lunging at you. He's reaching. He's grabbing. He's pretty tricky, but very high volume, good everywhere, very good striker. And he's coming off, it's been a couple years now, but where he fought Figueiredo 4 times, and it's the only, typically I don't like rematches, but I was equally excited for every single one of those fights with Figueiredo because yes, they held up the division for quite a while, but they were light years above anybody else in the division, so I thought that was appropriate. And if you think about Brandon Moreno, I remember somebody saying this, and it just summed it up so perfectly. Somebody mentioned Justin Gaethje is your favorite fighter's favorite fighter. So any fighter you like in the UFC, their favorite fighter is Justin Gaethje. But those fighters' moms, their favorite fighter is Brandon Moreno. And it's funny because I remember after he won the title, there were some photos of different UFC fighters recently, and they're standing around their cars and in these luxury venues, and then you get to Brandon Moreno, and he's at the Lego store getting stuff for his daughters. So how can you not like that guy, and how can you not root for that guy? But he does have a pretty significant challenge, even though I disagree with the odds. Taira's good. His only loss is to Brandon, and it was a close one. MMA math doesn't always add up, but I think it's going to add up here. Brandon Moreno's fought Royval a couple of times, and he's beat him both times. He submitted him once. And I think it just really shows the level that Brando Moreno is on. I think Tyra might, he's really young. He's really athletic. Let me see what is, he's only 25 years old. So, he's going to be making vast improvements. But so is Brandon Moreno. It's not like he's peaked and now he's on his athletic decline. He's right in his prime, and he's going to be in his prime for a couple years. I think he just came up against a better fighter in Pantoja. And look, like I said, I think he's pound for pound the third best fighter in the world. And I expect Brandon Moreno to win this fight. And I believe it to be uncontroversial. I believe it to be a 30-27 fight, even though I think Tyra will have moments. But give me Brandon Moreno by a very fun and entertaining decision. All right, next up, Henry Cejudo versus Peyton Talbot. And let me bring up the odds on this one because a lot of people were not happy with this fight, and I absolutely love it. Peyton Talbot, a minus 275 favorite. Henry Cejudo, plus 235. I like this fight because I think Peyton Talbot is absolutely legit. I think, did I just call him Tablet instead of Talbot? My bad. But he comes in, he's this undefeated fighter. He looks absolutely incredible. He loses to Honey Barcelos in a fight he should have won. And, it made a lot of people take a step back. We forget how young he is. And I think he's 24. He's 27, a little older than I thought, but he's still young in the fight game. That was his first loss. He bounced back incredibly against Lima. And I think Lima has top 5 upside. And I believe the same to be for Peyton Talbot. I believe this guy is the real deal. He's an incredible athlete. He probably has the best balance out of anybody I've seen in the UFC. If you try to shoot a single leg on him, he can stand on one foot, hop around forever, hit you in the face a couple times, and make you drop that leg. I think he's incredibly talented. I think he's going to just keep getting better and better. And you can't say the same about Henry Cejudo just due to his age. Look, he's a 2 weight class champ. He's an Olympic gold medalist. He is good everywhere. Great wrestler, great striker, great power, but he's slowed down a little bit due to age. Now, if this fight was 6 years ago, I'd have probably a different outcome, but I think Peyton Talbot is going to handle him, and I think he's going to get a finish. Give me Peyton Talbot by 3rd round TKO. And let me just look at the records. Yeah, Henry Cejudo, he is 16-5. Peyton Talbot, he is 10-1. And all right, opening the card. This is the fight that it's an interesting fight. Excuse me. Just shouldn't be on a pay-per-view opener. Jan Blachowicz versus Bogdan Guskov. Excuse me. Blachowicz, he is a former champ. He is 29-11. Bogdan Guskov, he is 18-3, and he has 100% finish rate. So if he wins, he's going to win early, and he's going to win pretty quickly. And let me just check the odds. And this is the closest fight. And this is probably one of the hardest ones for me to pick. Jan Blachowicz is a minus 118. Guskov is a minus 102. And the reason why, even though Jan Blachowicz is 42, he's so tricky. He's that quintessential crafty vet. He can go against guys who are more talented, more athletic, and for some reason he knows how to neutralize them. But 42 is just way too old. And I do got to think, I have flip-flop on this pick a little bit. I have to think if Guskov hits him cleanly and he hits him once, he's going to go down. And I think that's going to happen. I think Blachowicz is crafty enough to last, maybe a round. But I think Guskov is going to catch him in the 2nd round. Give me Guskov by 2nd round knockout. All right, open the featured prelims. This is another great fight. And this is why this fight card is so good. Grant Dawson at 23-2. Manuel Torres at 16-3. Let me just check the odds real quickly on this one. Grant Dawson, minus 200. Manuel Torres, plus 170. And I'm going to tell you, this is where you're going to look for the underdog right here because I've never bought into the Grant Dawson hype. He is good, and he is a wrestler. And when he gets you down, he will control you. Think position over submission. He will control you for an entire round if he gets you. And he is a very good wrestler. But his striking is a bit suspect. I think his chin is a bit suspect. And I think against the right matchups, he's incredibly vulnerable. And when I say right matchups, I'm talking about the right matchups for his opponent. Torres is legit. And I just want to bring something up real quickly because I think it's his first round finishes. So let me go back to, let's see, since 2020, he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's 7-1, and all of his wins have come in the first round, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Give me Torres by first round knockout. All right, before that, we have another good fight. Actually, another great fight. Chris Duncan versus Terrence McKinney. Terrence McKinney is the best fighter in the UFC for about 60 seconds. This guy, I mean, you talk about somebody that lives by the sword and dies by the sword. This is the guy. He is good everywhere. Has lightning fast speed. He has ridiculous knockout power. But what happens when he's on the ground? He's just as good there. He's a dominant wrestler. The problem is he gasses, and he gasses early, and he gasses badly, and he becomes really vulnerable late into the first round and particularly in the second round. He has, I believe, 100% finish rate. There's no way anything. Yeah, he has a 17 wins, 100% finish rate, 9 subs, and 8 TKOs or knockouts. And let's see, when you look at Chris Duncan, this guy's tough as nails. He has some knockout power too as well. He has 10 out of his 14 wins have come by finish. He is on a 3-fight winning streak. His last loss was, guess what? First round finish by Manuel Torres. But let me just see here. Since he's been in, let me look at his record just in the UFC too. So yeah, he's 5-1 in the UFC. He's a legit fighter. He's good, and he is going to get smashed. I'm telling you right now, take this one as your underdog pick of the night. Terrence McKinney is going to light him up, and Terrence McKinney first round TKO. Next up, Macy Barber versus Karine Silva. Macy Barber, good striker. Let me just check her odds real quick. She's a -150. Karine Silva is a +130. And let me just look at what I know. She's on quite a win streak right now. She's 14-2 overall. She is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fights in a row. Her last loss was against Alexa Grasso back in 2021, losing to the former champ. Not that bad. Look, Macy Barber, she's legit. She's a legit title contender. The problem is her health. She had to withdraw from her fight most recently, but it's not only having to withdraw from a fight at the last minute. It's about whatever health issues she's dealing with, how much does it affect her in her day-to-day life? How much does it affect her in her training? We don't know. So, she has this raw talent, but there is another concern when you're trying to pick and think about a fight, and she's going against somebody who's a finisher. Karine Silva has finished every fight except one, which is incredible when you think about that, because you don't see that at 125, and you never see that at 125, in a women's division. So that is absolutely insane. Now, Karine Silva is maybe not as good as we thought she was when she first got in to the UFC. It looked like she was just going to submit people left and right. She ran into a challenge with Araujo. But I think Silva's going to get it done, and I think she's going to do it by submission. I think she's going to do it early. Give me Karine Silva by second round submission. So moving on, let me just click over here. Who do we have next? This other fight is pretty insane as well. Nazim Sadikov versus Fares Ziam. Okay, so Sadikov 11-1, Ziam 17-4, and Ziam's on a pretty good winning streak. He's only 28 years old. Let's see. So check this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fights in a row, and his last loss was to Terrence McKinney by first round submission. Sadikov, to whom did he lose in the UFC? Oh, it was before. Oh, yeah, that's right. It was his first fight. He did have a draw against Slava Klaus. That's a little concerning. But both fighters are really good. let me check the odds. Sorry, I'm a little all over the place breaking down this fight. The odds, okay, yeah, Ziam a minus 135, Sadikov plus 115. Give me Ziam by an entertaining decision that will be 29-28 on the scorecard. Next up, Marvin Vettori versus Bruno Ferreira. Now, Vettori, he is 19-9. Ferreira, he is 14-2. Let me get the odds for you real quickly. Vettori, oh, it's a straight pick 'em, minus 110 each. This is an interesting fight. Now, Vettori, he's tough as nails. We saw him lose. He's on a bit of a losing streak, right? He's on a 3-fight losing streak. And 2 of those losses were to Brendan Allen and Jared Cannonier. One of them, though, was to Roman Dolidze, which at this stage you shouldn't be losing to Roman Dolidze if you're a legit top 10 fighter. But what we've seen him take a ridiculous amount of damage and never get knocked out, which is insane. And which makes it interesting because Ferreira, I wasn't that sold on him early on in his career, but he's surprised me and he's legit. He's got legit power. And, I think he's going to knock him out. I think he's going to knock out Vettori for the first time, but I think it's going to take him a while. Well, maybe not a while because he might gas late. I think he's going to knock him out in the second round. This will be Vettori's first knockout, and I think it's going to be due to his nickname, the Italian Dream. Look, I'm 25% Italian. My grandma was born and raised in Italy. But the Italian Dream, that's suspect. But it's still not the worst nickname on this card. But give me Ferreira by, by second round knockout. Another incredible fight on this card. Edson Barboza versus Jalen Turner. Barboza, he's 24-13. Turner, he is 14-9. And both of those records are a little misleading. Barboza has fought the best of the best. He's one of the best kickboxers. He has one of the best highlight reels you've ever seen in the UFC. He is an elite level talent. He's just, he's gone to war with basically everybody. And on any given night, he can beat anybody. But he's pushing 40 years old. And let me click. I think he's he's 39 right now. And the fact that he's still, excuse me, the fact that he's still getting wins at this stage in his career is remarkable. And when you look at Jalen Turner, I mentioned 14-9, it doesn't really tell the whole story because he was against Moicano. He was going for a walk-off knockout or a walk-off finish, and then he walks away and Moicano gets up. If he just went to the ground, he would have had a finish. He was destroying Dan Hooker. He broke his cheekbone. He broke his arm. But I think one of the things people forget is nobody's tougher than Dan Hooker, and somehow he was able to eke out a decision. So I think his win-loss record is a little misleading. In terms of physical tools, he has some of the best intrinsic qualities among any fighter in the lightweight division. He's extremely tall. He is 6'3". He's long. He's lengthy. He's good on the ground. He's good on the feet. He is good everywhere. He just hasn't put it together yet. He's not that old yet. I know he just retired, but he's only 30. He's coming back. And I think he's going to absolutely destroy Edson Barboza. And let me see. And when I mean destroy, I don't think it's going to even be close. Yeah, he's a minus 260 favorite. Barboza is a plus 220 underdog. And Barboza, or let me see, he's going to Jalen Turner is going to finish him in the first round. It will be a first round sub. All right, next up, and again, we only have 3 more prelims to go, and these are all going to be really exciting and fun fights. We have Ivo Aslan, 14-3 versus Iwo Baranuski, 6-0. This fight's awesome. Aslan, he hits hard, but he's coming off he's 14 wins, all of his wins by knockout or TKO. He's coming off 2 losses against maybe not the highest level of competition. He is 2-2 in the UFC. So he is a UFC level fighter, maybe just on that lower tier. And he has that knockout power, but so does Iwo, and I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly, Baranuski. Now, look, he hasn't fought the best competition, but the fights I've watched him, what I've seen on the regional scene, is remarkable. I mean, he is lightning fast. He has good technique. And I know his knockout on the Contender Series was more of a looping punch, but that is not indicative of how he usually fights. I mean, he has a really nasty double leg. He can get you on the ground quickly. He can beat you on the feet. He can beat you anywhere, at least against the competition he's faced so far. And I don't think Aslan is going to be that much of a step up. And he was going to end it. He's going to end it early. He's going to end it violently. Give me first by first round knockout. But when I said the best nickname, I think it's Aslan, the last Ottoman. That is absolutely sick when you think about the Ottoman Empire. I mean, that's an empire that lasted from, 1299 to, I believe it was like 1922 or so. And I think that's a pretty sick nickname. So even though he's going to get knocked out, he has the coolest nickname on the card. All right, before that, Mansur Abdul-Malik at 8-0-1 against Antonio Tricoli, 12-5. Tricoli is 0-2. And let me just get the odds. I'm sorry, did I do that for the last one? I don't remember. Iwo was only minus 200. Even though he's a 2-1 favorite, I would jump on that. He's going to absolutely smash Aslan. Now, this fight's crazy. Abdul-Malik is a minus 1,000, and for some reason, I feel that might be appropriate because I think he's going to get a first-round finish here. This fight should not be close. Now, Malik is not, he has all this hype, but he wasn't dominant against Cody Brundage. So, I think people are taking a step back, but I think he's like a D1 wrestler. Has all these incredible physical tools. And maybe this is, maybe this line might be, let me revise what I said. Maybe this line might be a bit much, but I expect it to be a first round finish. Give me Abdul-Malik by first round submission. All right. Muhammadjan Naimov versus Marion Santos. This is another good fight, and this is opening the card. 12-3 Namaev versus 16-1 Santos. And let me get the odds. I think both are decent fighters. I think Santos is a little bit better. I know he's a lot younger. Oh, yeah, he's a minus 235 favorite. Naimov is a plus 200. I think it's going to be a fun fight. I think both guys will have their moments. But give me Santos by a very entertaining decision. And I mentioned, who had the worst nickname. The Italian Dream was not very good, but it wasn't the worst. It is Pantoja, the champ, the cannibal. I mean, what's he going? Is he trying to say he's going to devour the competition? I don't know. I don't get it. He is a great fighter. He is terrible at coming up with nicknames. But that's it. Like, subscribe, appreciate it. See you next time.